Okay, so you're probably thinking, why on God's green earth, Alex, is Vlog 16 being recorded here at your home office like you did with the office tour? Long story short, I'd recorded everything on my phone, transferred it to my computer, I'd backed it up several times, the backup went corrupted, and then the library on which the information was stored in order to render it decided to blow a gasket. So unfortunately, you're going to have me talking to you now, but I will also provide some of the photos and also the footage of this year's ADAC SimRacing Expo, along with some images who I will credit the relevant people who I did actually meet this past weekend in person. So that's why there's no killer vlog. Yeah, because it was going to be an absolute blinder. Probably would have been the longest vlog I would have done this year. But, hey, it happens. I have a few thank yous first of all. Continued thank you to Danny Juicer for believing in me as a lead commentator, getting me back for what is now my third year of involvement with the ADAC SimRacing Expo. For those wondering, when did I first start getting involved with it? Well, thanks to my good friend, Yusuf bin Suhail, I was contacted by the then organisers, Corvana, through one of the previous members of staff, to be part of the road to the SimRacing Expo in 2021. Didn't end up going to the Nürburgring. I didn't have an issue with that. They had decided who they were going to go with. It is what it is. It's past tense. I don't need to worry about it. But to get the chance to do it last year in Nürburgring and now this year in Dortmund, where there is going to be a further extension, so from 2023 right the way through to 2027, or maybe even longer than that, the SimRacing Expo will be in the Dortmund Messe, right in the middle of the Ruhrgebiet in Western Germany. I also have to say a big thank you to Southwest Vision and their team behind the scenes for making me feel so welcome, and to feel official as well, because we actually had proper branded hoodies and t-shirts for this year's event. So I felt pretty cool as a person, as part of the member of staff of that team. I have to give a shout out to Nico Hildbrand, Luke Crane and Matt Brandt, who I was working alongside with this year at the Expo. Absolute hoot. The energy was on a different level this year in comparison with last year. Dan Pepples, I know you're chomping at the bit to be part of the Expo commentary team. I don't know if you're going to get in, mate, but you never know. I have to say a big thank you to so many great people within the community of content creators that we have in sim racing. And especially when you have the likes of Gamer Muscle, Random Call Sign, Dave Cam, Mrs. Dave Cam, Lawrence Dasawa, and have to give a shout out to the Potato Nation as well. So great to see so many of you with us here this past weekend, and also for you lot chomping your nails to the quick when Ireland were playing New Zealand on Saturday. And don't worry, I'm not going to throw salt into the wounds, because I saw Jack Canard nearly have a fit, along with many of the Irish delegation that were there outside watching the rugger. But it was so great to see so many familiar faces. Great to see Javier and so many other people as well within the community. Also drivers that I know of. Great to see the teams from Pro Sport, Sim Racing, seeing the people from Williams as well, at Javier, Seb Hawkins now with Guild Esports. Great to catch up with him. Dave Perel, Josh Martin from SimGrid and SimStaff, Steve Worrell, Steve Proudy, Mike Yao. There's so many people. Nadi, Antja, Alex, Michael, Ollie. There's so many people. It was great to either meet up with again Steffi, aka Shiva Lion, the team from Sim Race Sweden, Holly and the crew from Live to Race. Poor Holly being right next to Azatec Sim Sports. Andre, you need to stop your team firing up that LMP3 too often and get closer racing. Christian, you need a little bit of slap on the wrist when you started firing up your Radical in the hall. You know what? They're all having fun. We're all part of a big community, and it was great to speak to people. Of course, yeah, some of the bigger, heavier hitters like, say, SimuCube, Heusingfeld, SimLab weren't there, but we saw quite a few new exhibitors. We saw the likes of Conspit, PXN, Eraser, who were doing the Race to Victory qualification signs, so people are able to try and go in for a boot camp to race in real life, which is really, really cool. Race at Home, Coffee Racer with their initiative of providing an all-in-one coffee table stroke sim rig, which is, I have to say, I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw it. We saw regulars such as P1 Sim, who were there. Venom were back as well. Yeah, just so great to see quite a lot of new exhibitors and new product manufacturers coming into the sim racing space. One of the biggest things for me that was an eye-opener was how many people were queuing outside the entrance of the hall, at the north entrance of Hall 3. At 9:30 in the morning, Marco, the CEO from Southwest Virginia, said, "Come and take a look at this." And I walked to just outside of the exhibitor office to the hallway where you could actually see the north entrance. And what I saw, I could not believe my eyes. I had to do a double take. 9 to 10 rows of people waiting to either come in having bought tickets or had not yet bought their tickets, and it was like 10 to 15 people deep. I was like, oh my god. I mean, the people within sim racing, there are some who have provided their 2 cents, let's say, but the outlook that I got, despite some of the big names not being there, was positive. The stage was a lot more cozy, a lot more community orientated. You still had teams competing for prize money on the digital GT500 on site, some who were in booths, some who were in team boxes, and I really, really felt it was great to see companies such as Fanatec, such as Aztec SimSports, who have a loyalty for this. And Andre and the team at Aztec really notched it up another level. They leveled up, so did Fanatec. Every single one of the people that were at the Aztec stand were wearing a race suit. Everyone helping at the stand wearing a race suit in Aztec SimSport colours. Fanatec went one better with their chosen show car, which was an Aston Martin Racing Valkyrie, worth about 3 million quid, and has a 6.5 litre naturally aspirated V12 that revs to over 11,000 RPM, plus also the fact it's one of 150 examples, and we had that at the Expo. Also, Fanatec showcased their new Club Sport DD, which is set to replace DD1 technology, so direct drives, and a lot of hard work has gone into it. Of course, it's going to replace DD1, and there's a lot of military inspired technology, as we always see with Fanatec. And great to see Thomas Yakima having a chat with Paul Jeffrey when they announced it. And for me personally, as being the lead commentator for the event, I mean, it's so cool to finally meet in person my good buddy Nico Hillebrandt, who won the casting call for the co-commentator role at the Expo. And he was nervous, he was excited, he was like a giddy little kid in the sweet shop, but he really, really enjoyed it. Dan Pepples, who earlier on that week I called and I said, yeah, everything's all good, looking forward to it. He said, I'll see you there. He was there with SimRace Sweden. Great catching up with him. That kid's got a bright future in commentary, having done a fantastic job for Next Gen Cup with Frederick Lestrup, and also the Aquila 1000 championship as well. You know, there's a lot of promise in that young man, and I'm glad to be his master, and he's my Padawan, so to speak. He learned a lot of the stuff that I take into account, and he's used it to great advantage. So well done, Dan. Well done. And you know, the people that I work with at this event, we had such a great time. I am really looking forward to how the SimRacing Expo develops over the next, not the next 12 months, but the next 48. I think the amount of content creators that I met this weekend, there was a very, very big positivity about it. Of course, there are keyboard warriors out there, but if you haven't been to the event, you're just trying to stir up a hornet's nest. And all I could say is this: people voted with their feet. You know, the people queuing for the best part of over an hour to try and get on some of the newest tech to try and test it out. Even the content creators were having their own dramas to contend with, trying to test out new equipment, new software. We had Forza Motorsport with Xbox. Obviously, that's the latest thing that's just come up, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how console sim racing is going to really impact the market in future, because PCs with simulators such as ACC, Assetto Corsa, Automobilista 2, iRacing, R Factor 2, the upcoming Le Mans Ultimate release, AC2 that we're waiting for next year. But console is also another platform that really is technologically surging forward. So don't be at all surprised if consoles really do become a bigger part of sim racing in general. There are leagues through Gran Turismo, Forza. You know, there's so many different leagues that consoles are made for, and make it so easy just to plug and play, jump on a league, get racing, and have fun. Dates are already set in stone for next year, 18th to the 20th of October. And you know what? I'm really excited for what could be coming in the not too distant future with the SimRacing Expo. So, as I said, apologies for the fact that I haven't got the footage. Just technical difficulties this time, but I'll see you for vlog 17, and it will be a long one. And it will be a two-parter, and it will be me going to Belgium, to Germany, maybe even a cheeky trip to the Netherlands. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you to everyone that I caught up with at the Expo at Dortmund, and I look forward to seeing you all next year between the 18th and the 20th of October in the Messe Dortmund. Thanks for watching all. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. See you again soon. Cheers.